How's it going? Ryan here at etrailer.com. Today on our 2017 Kia Soul, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the EcoHitch hidden trailer hitch receiver. Now right off the bat, this hitch is going to be different from the others because it's going to have a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, which is going to work with just about any accessory that you'd ever want, which in turn is going to save you a lot of time because you're going to have so many different options as far as accessories go to choose from, as opposed to those 1¼ hitches. And also, in my personal opinion, this one is going to feel more sturdy and well built. The hitch is made from recycled materials such as aluminum, steel, and stainless steel. And it's also going to have a black powder coat finish, which will stay looking good for a long time and help prevent any rust and corrosion. So not only is it going to be made from those high quality materials, but it's also going to be eco-friendly. And one of the things I really like is that our hitch is going to be completely hidden for the most part. The only thing you're going to be able to see is the receiver tube opening. I also really like the style of safety chain openings here. They're going to sit pretty much flush with the receiver tube and be a lot smaller. That way they're not going to be such an eyesore, but they're still going to give us more than enough room to use just about any size hook if you are doing some towing. And the reason I say that, and I like that smaller design, is because most of our Soul customers really only use their hitch for accessories and not regular heavy-duty towing. Now it's also going to have a reinforced collar, not only for extra strength, but in my opinion it's just going to make the hitch look more put together. And it's also going to use the standard 5/8 size pinhole. Now, pen and clip does not come included, but if you need one, you can find it here at etrailer.com. As far as the hitch's weight capacities go, it's going to have a maximum gross tongue weight rating of 300 pounds. That's going to be the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. That's going to work perfect for those 1 to 3 bike racks. So more or less what that means is whether you plan on using a cargo carrier or a bike rack to help free up space on the inside of your Kia, you're not going to have any issues finding an accessory that'll work. Now I'm going to give you a couple of measurements, and you're going to use these to help figure out which hitch mounted accessories to get. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, that's going to be about 11½ inches. So if you do plan on doing a little bit of towing, chances are pretty good you're going to need to get a ball mount with a rise. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the edge of the rear bumper, that's going to be about 4½ inches. And you're going to use that to help figure out if any folding accessories you might have can be stored in the upright position without contacting the bumper. So overall, if I personally had to choose a hitch to put on the back of my Kia, this is the one I would choose over the other two. And that's for a couple of different reasons. The functionality of having that 2" by 2" opening is going to allow us to do a lot more things and use a lot more accessories. And in my opinion, I just think this is going to look a whole lot better too. To begin our installation, we're going to be underneath the back of our vehicle. We're going to be working on the sides closest to our wheel wells. Now right here, we're going to have one push pin style fastener that we need to take out. Now, I'm going to use a trim panel tool to do this, but you can use a flathead screwdriver too. What you're going to do is kind of work the tool underneath the head of the fastener, and then you can just pry down and completely pull it out like this. Now if we move up a little bit here on the edge of our wheel well, we're going to remove this plastic liner. And so that's going to be held in place by 3 Phillips head screws. So go ahead and remove all 3 of those. Once all those are removed, what you're going to do is just kind of take your wheel well liner, just kind of bend it out of the way a little bit, kind of break it free. And then we're going to repeat that exact same process over on the other side. Now underneath the vehicle, we are going to need to lower our exhaust a little bit to give us some room to work. But before we do that, I like to take a strap and run it from side to side, just as kind of a precautionary, just to help support the exhaust a little bit. So if we look on the side of our muffler, we're going to have that one rubber isolator hanger. Now to get these off, I want to go ahead and spray them down with some soapy water or some penetrating oil. And then we can just take a pry bar or a big flathead screwdriver, kind of just work the rubber portion off of our muffler. Now I'd like to point out our attachment points that are going to hold our hitch in place. We're going to have 2 on each side of our vehicle. The two that we're going to use will be this hole as well as this one. Now the hardware that we're going to use to hold the hitch in place for all of our attachment points is a bolt. We're going to take a split lock washer, put that on, followed by 2 flat washers. So once we have our hitch up in place, the hardware is just simply going to thread in. Now one thing I like to do before we put our hitch up is to clean out these holes. So I went ahead and sprayed them with some penetrating oil, and I'm just going to use a toothbrush to help clean out all that debris. So now with an extra set of hands, we can put our hitch in place to go up and over our exhaust. And kind of work it up there and line the holes up with the hitch with the holes in our frame rail. And then we can get one of our bolts hand tight on each side. That way the hitch will support itself while we work on the rest of them. So now with all of our hardware in place and hand tight, we can go ahead and snug them all down. With all of our hardware snug down, you can then take a torque wrench and tighten it all to the specification found in the instructions. At this point, we can go ahead and rehang our exhaust. We'll just lift it up, line it up with our isolator, and push it back together. And don't forget to remove your safety strap. Now we can go ahead and resecure our wheel well liners using the same hardware that we loosened them with. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the EcoHitch hidden trailer hitch receiver on our 2017 Kia Soul.